Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2024-2025 BMO Fellowship Summit. We're so excited to have you here with us as we celebrate a powerful cohort of BMO Fellows who are advancing real-world solutions to their community's most significant environmental and sustainability challenges. My name is Evie Flaw, Summit Programs Manager at Watson Institute, and it is my pleasure to be your host and guide for today's special event. Today marks a culmination of months of work, learning, and collaboration through the 2024-2025 BMO Fellowship, a fully funded venture and leadership program designed to provide comprehensive support to highly promising environmental sustainability entrepreneurs and leaders. The BMO Fellowship offered award-winning training in entrepreneurship, sustainability, and leadership to help BMO Fellows advance their environmental, sustainably focused ventures and actively contribute to solving their community's most pressing challenges across the West and Southwest United States. Over the next hour and a half, you'll hear from 12 inspiring BMO Fellows who bring their lived experience to their solutions and are leading efforts to tackle the very environmental and sustainability issues they've been most impacted by. So whether you're here as a funder, a partner, a friend, or a change maker, thank you for joining us to recognize and amplify their work. To help us kick things off, it is my pleasure to introduce someone who has been deeply involved in supporting the BMO Fellows through this journey. Jordan Elias, Programs Manager at Watson Institute. Jordan has provided invaluable guidance, encouragement, and insight to the BMO Fellows as they've grown as entrepreneurs and leaders over the course of this fellowship. Jordan, we're so glad you're here. Please take it away.
Hi, my name is Jordan Elias, and I have had the privilege of serving as the program manager for the BMO Fellowship. As we join in celebrating this significant achievement, I want to take a moment and acknowledge just how far you've come. Over the course of this 16-week program, I've watched ideas take shape, confidence grow, and sparks turn into real momentum. You've worked through some of the most essential and challenging parts of the entrepreneurial journey: foundations, product market fit, data and metrics, funding, team management, the art of pitch, and much, much more. But you didn't just learn those concepts, you lived them. You asked bold questions, gave thoughtful feedback, and consistently showed up with courage and curiosity. You challenged yourselves and each other in the best ways possible. And you did this all while managing real life: full-time jobs, school, family, speaking engagements, and ventures that matter deeply. Through it all, what stood out was your resilience, your dedication, and the heart you brought to every moment. Now, I want to share something that's been coming up a lot for me lately: the word community. And I think that's because this fellowship has become one. You didn't just participate in a program, you built something bigger. You showed that you care deeply about your local communities, but also about each other and relationships, about shared learning and mutual growth. The way you've shown up for one another, mentoring, supporting, celebrating wins, and just making space for joy, that's what makes this cohort truly extraordinary. To each of you, thank you. Thank you for your energy, your commitment, your laughter, and your belief in what is possible. Congratulations, BMO Fellows. This is a milestone, but it's just the beginning. I can't wait to see where you go from here. Remember, you're not just building ventures, you're helping save the world one idea at a time. No pressure, but the planet's counting on you.
Thank you, Jordan, for that thoughtful welcome. Now, let's begin our first set of pitches centered on the interconnected themes of nature, community, and human well-being. The next three BMO Fellows are leading transformative work that demonstrates how caring for the planet and caring for people go hand in hand. From soil regeneration to food justice to native plant restoration and youth empowerment, these ventures are cultivating healthier ecosystems and communities alike. First up, we have Alicia Richardson, founder of Princess Gardens Worm Farm. Princess Gardens Worm Farm is dedicated to promoting sustainability through vermiculture, composting, and soil regeneration. To date, they've educated over 4,500 community members through workshops and hands-on training, diverted approximately 8 tons of organic waste from landfills, and transformed it into nutrient-rich compost that supports urban agriculture and green spaces. Alicia, the floor is yours.
What if I told you worms and the tiny life that dwells in the soil beneath our feet are my partners in crime? What started as a journey to spend more time with my little one unexpectedly ushered me into a life rooted in purpose. Growing food in our garden and selling gardening kits to families was the first step in my journey to abolish the disconnect between people and planet. I wanted to build something that honored the earth, communities, and those that came before us. We later began experimenting with worms in our patio garden, slowly learning how they quietly yet consistently transform food waste into a rich living soil amendment. The more I learned, the more I realized these tiny creatures held the key to something far greater. After selling leftover worm castings at a farmer's market, I was asked by a group of community members to teach them the art and science of vermicomposting. This request birthed what is now Princess Gardens Worm Farm. My name is Alicia Richardson, owner of Princess Gardens, Colorado's first Black women-owned vermicomposting center. We use the power of worms to divert food waste, regenerate soils, and rebuild broken food systems from the ground up. In the U.S., the average family sends around 4 pounds of food waste to the landfill each day, while 13.5% of the nation is food insecure. Working with worms helped me see that they are the solution to some of humanity's most pressing issues like food insecurity, soil degradation, water contamination, and the decarbonization of our atmosphere. We take a holistic approach in the way that we serve, starting at the root of the problem. Getting people outdoors to spend time in nature. This step is crucial. Throughout American history, BIPOC communities have been intentionally separated from land through traumatic experiences, discriminatory policies, stolen land, and economic barriers. By spending time in nature, we deepen our understanding of just how connected we all truly are. Next, we build a strong understanding of worms, biodiversity, and soil health, helping participants to understand why living soil is so important when cultivating food. Lastly, we teach participants to grow their own food, and this promotes self-sufficiency. Our approach is regenerating lives and co-powering communities while creating circular economy in spaces that are most impacted by negative environmental considerations. But we couldn't do this work alone. It is because of our community partners that Princess Gardens is able to thrive. Over the years, we've diverted several tons of organic waste, cultivated thousands of pounds of worms, and inspired thousands of new worm farmers that are diverting waste and growing food at home. My mission is to place Princess Gardens Worm Farm in communities across the nation. By placing Princess Gardens directly in these communities, we're not only lowering emissions and diverting waste, we're also creating green workforce, drawing down carbon, and educating people on the healing power that nature has to offer each of us. And here's how you can get involved. $100 provides 10 mini worm bins to get people started on their vermicomposting journey. $1,000 starts small worm farms in a community garden to help them divert waste and helps them to produce food in a living soil. But no amount is too small. Every donation will help us regenerate minds and liberate the land. And you can also become a sponsor. Our nonprofit is on a mission to secure $250,000 annually to keep our programming free or low cost. And this will also help us to expand our worm farm so that we can continue cultivating worms to help people on their journey to living more sustainably. Thank you so much for your time. And until we meet again, feed worms, not landfills. Peace.
Thank you, Alicia. Next, please welcome Shantae Walker, CEO of the Halo Food Project. Shantae is a dedicated advocate for community well-being and access. Through the Halo Food Project, she ensures equitable access to healthy foods and sustainable resources for underserved communities. Her work promotes health and wellness, strengthens food systems, and drives long-term generational change for families across Los Angeles. Shantae, please take it away.
I'd like to share a little bit about how my mother and I used to walk a few miles to the grocery store. And on almost every corner, there were liquor stores and fast food joints. And if there were mini marts or available grocery stores, they sold low quality foods, where neighborhood residents like my mom and I still had to pay market rate. Growing up in South Los Angeles, I don't recall seeing a farmer's market or knowing what organic produce was. What I do recall were empty dirt lots and old left out mattresses that became my weekend playground. I remember having a neighbor who, on the side of her duplex, grew a tiny little strawberry patch. And after my mother and I moved away, I thought about this one little strawberry I picked for years because I hadn't seen a farm or live agriculture until I was nearly graduating from high school. Since I was bused to school, I started seeing firsthand how other communities survived and where access was. But a simple, basic need like a quality grocery store were almost impossible to come by in my neighborhood. In 1991, just one store served 28,000 residents in South Los Angeles due to the lack of stewardship, care, and necessary investments. And over the last 2 decades, there have been over 50 grocery stores closed permanently in our underrepresented communities. This is not normal. So I created the Halo Food Project because in South Los Angeles today, there is roughly 900 fast food restaurants, 700 liquor stores, and only 7 supermarkets, though South Los Angeles is twice the size of Manhattan, New York. The Halo Food Project became an immediate lifeline for South Los Angeles residents who struggle with barrier on top of barrier on top of barrier. I've been doing this work for years, building whatever I could with strategic partners, no money, and limited resources. This work quickly transformed into building one of LA's first zero emissions retail mobile grocery stores that is farm direct. My name is Shantae Walker, the founder and CEO of the Niles Foundation and Halo Food Project. And this initiative was created to help communities thrive through sustainable, replicable models. We use 100% clean energy, and we work with over 150 sustainable and certified ethical suppliers with a focus on small businesses, including women, BIPOC, and LGBTQ plus food producers. Our customers call us the EV Whole Foods on Wheels. We offer a wide variety of high quality foods, hand selected and new to the market. And we did not forget about pets. We care about people, pets, wellness, quality, sustainability, and affordability. So let's partner. Come out and see our work. Help us expand additional zero emissions mobile grocery stores and increase regenerative local food production. The Halo Food Project is so much more than a venture. It's an immediate lifeline locally and globally for underrepresented communities.
Thank you, Shantae. Rounding out this theme, I'm excited to introduce Reggie Carrillo, founder and CEO of AZ Land Fund. AZ Land Fund is a hyper-local, community-based nonprofit rooted in the mission of ensuring that all communities can thrive in the Sonoran Desert for generations to come. Reggie's work focuses on climate resilience, environmental stewardship, and grassroots advocacy that directly responds to the needs of local residents. Reggie, you have the floor.
My story starts in June during one of Arizona's hottest summers. The week I was born, it was 120 degrees. I'm a born and raised native to Arizona. I'm a product of our desert barrios, our public education system, of the resilience and fortitude that is needed to transform our communities. I grew up in a two-parent income household. I had the privilege of traveling across the state to play sports, music, and to perform. We'd often perform for more affluent communities. As a kid, I noticed that their communities often seemed more cleaner, greener, and rich with resources. When I came back to my community, this often instilled a sense of shame and guilt in me. I often asked, why did their communities have what they had and ours lacked the abundance I had just seen? I was ashamed of living in the desert, of my cultura, and of my own identity. In my middle school years, I lost my mom. She was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and the day before my birthday, we were burying her in the ground. She was only 35. This formative traumatic event left me with many unanswered questions. As a kid, I didn't have the language for what I was experiencing, but I felt the impacts of the injustices of our barrios being the dumping grounds and the forgotten zones. My mother didn't smoke, didn't drink, so why was her health and many of my community members' health impacted this way? When I went to college, I finally received answers. I learned about the connection between our natural and built environments and our community's health disparities. Then, when I became an educator, full of bright, curious middle schoolers in the same community I also inhabit, their future stretching out before them in the same environment I grew up in, that's when it hit me. These middle schoolers weren't just inheriting a planet in climate peril, but a community continuously bearing the brunt of environmental neglect and injustice. I knew I needed to act to transform their mindset just as mine was. I knew that I could leverage education as a pathway to transform our community in the same way education transformed my life and understanding of our planet, environmental inequities, and our community's health burdens. I realized there was a need to teach youth about the environmental inequities endemic in their communities and about the ensuing climate crisis on our planet. I'm Reggie Carrillo. That is why I founded AZLand. We're not just another environmental nonprofit just focused on conservation. We're a hyper-local force rooted in the very same soil of South Phoenix, Arizona. We are educators, researchers, and proud inhabitants of these desert lands. We understand from lived experience that environmental injustice and climate change are compounding and intertwined in our barrios. Our vision is a bold one to co create environmentally and racially just communities alongside those that have historically been underinvested in and yet possess an incredible untapped resilience and innovative spirit. AZLand believes that those closest to the problems are closest to the solutions. AZLand services the community through our 4 program pillars. This includes an environmental focus on 1, education, 2, research and data, 3, future building, 4, action and advocacy. To date, we have increased education about the abundance of the desert and the climate adaptation and mitigation solutions it offers us. We have worked to increase desert ecology canopy coverage in 21 residential households and have worked with over 10 educators, 700 plus students from middle school to university level. In 2024 alone, we held 31 community events, engaged 5,000 plus Sonoran Desert residents, released our second publication on the body innovation approach, financially supported over 15 local emerging artists in raising awareness about the environmental issues, and organized our 2 annual environmental resource fairs for the community. We have also recently installed our Shades of Resilience structure, highlighting the impact of urban heat islands. This year, we're on track to continue to expand on that work. With your support, we know we can have a greater impact on the ensuing climate crisis. Now is the time to act with urgency. Every step we take as a collective community will help to ensure we leave a more hospitable and livable planet for our youth. With AZLand leading the way, you can start by making a recurring donation, sponsoring our organization, or reaching out to collaborate with us. Your investment will help ensure we increase our collective capacity to address a global crisis as we work to scale the environmental needs of our desert communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Reggie. To introduce our next set of pitches, please welcome Cynthia Campos, Programs Coordinator at Watson Institute.
Thank you, Evie. The next group of BMO Fellows are redefining what it means to lead, not someday, but right now. Through education, activism, and policy change, these youth climate leaders are mobilizing their communities and reimagining our path forward. Please welcome Gabriel Nagel, founder of the Youth Advisory Collective. Gabriel is a climate activist and Stanford student who is advancing intergenerational climate leadership. His advocacy has reached more than 40 million people across 190 countries through platforms like NPR, Harvard Climate Week, and a live conversation with former Vice President Kamala Harris. Gabriel, the stage is yours.
My name's Gabriel Nagel, and I'm here today because I've seen the future being built in rooms where some of the most crucial voices are absent. I know that this isn't just an abstract frustration. I've lived it. As chair of the US EPA's Youth Advisory Council, I led national recommendations that influenced a $12 billion agency. I worked directly with federal policymakers to shape proposals on environmental justice and public health, seeing firsthand how bureaucratic systems can change when young people are given real tools and authority. But the unfortunate truth is, Today, most youth boards are window dressing, symbolic gestures with no real roles, influence, or accountability. The Youth Advisory Collective exists to close that gap. And we know it's a real issue because 96% of leaders believe intergenerational collaboration drives meaningful change. 87% see youth as essential to solving global challenges, but only 19% say that youth are actually given seats of power in the institutions that matter for their future. The Youth Advisory Collective changes that by building real, accountable youth governance structures in the sustainability space. With first, certified youth advisory boards. Next, reverse mentorship programs. And finally, long-term engagement strategies that shape decision-making. We offer institutions a one-on-one online course for effective youth boards, a certification system to ensure accountability, a best practices database and national impact report, and a matchmaking pipeline connecting institutions to diverse youth leaders in the spaces that matter most to them. While there are many youth organizations out there, not many bring youth to the actual table of decision makers. Ashoka and Do Something teach civic skills but don't advise institution. Gen Z consultancies sell campaigns but not governance. And independent companies like Lego and Spotify have youth councils but lack third-party credibility. YAC fills this exact gap with the tools, structure, and standards designed to last. Our revenue model combines advisory design and certification fees from nonprofits, local governments, and private corporations. ESG and consulting engagements to directly help these leaders bring youth to the table. And a scalable platform for training youth institution matchmaking across schools, universities, and agencies. And by embedding youth voices in climate and sustainability governance, YAC turns ESG commitments into ESG action. We're already in conversations with 3 Fortune 100 companies and building a national coalition of youth advisors that are ready to scale. In Denver, youth advisory boards co-crafted climate equity recommendations that were formally adopted into city policy. At leading universities, youth engagement programs have reshaped curricula to reflect support and student voices. And at an international nonprofit, we secured 2 youth representatives voting seats on the full executive board. This is exactly what environmental, social, and governance leadership should look like. Young people helping drive bold, systemic change. The Youth Advisory Collective ensures that ESG and sustainability is not a box to check, but a principle to put into action. And the opportunity is massive. If just 1% of 5,000 US companies with youth-targeted initiatives signed on, we could train 10,000 youth leaders and certify over 100 institutions, transforming governance across sectors. With your support, we have the opportunity to expand our accelerator, launch our certification framework, and build the digital tools that make youth sustainability governance scalable, real, and impactful. Because ultimately, while there are many institutions in the world, there's only one future. Let's build one where young people are not just present, but powerful, where youth leadership is not an afterthought, but a foundation. Thank you. Join us by mentoring, funding, or partnering to amplify these youth initiatives. Here's my contact information, and I'd love to connect with you after the program.
Thank you, Gabriel. Next, we have Miranda Magana, founder of Mini Nature Reserve. Mini Nature Reserve is rooted in community-engaged climate action, youth empowerment, and indigenous ecological restoration. With over 700 volunteers, a youth-led advisory board, and more than 2,000 native plants restored across 30,000 square feet of urban land, Miranda is rewilding urban spaces and passing down essential horticultural knowledge from local indigenous leaders. Miranda, you have the mic.
I have a question for everyone. Where can you find these places? If you think about your own home, are they in your own backyard or do you have to travel to find them? Well, these are photos from my hometown in Oxnard, what once used to be Chumash land. And Oxnard has been my home since forever. Yet when it comes to nature, we were shoved into a nature gap. And communities like mine have become the dumping grounds for concrete, trash, and neglect. And I fell in love with nature very young, even though I didn't grow up seeing places like this. I saved up enough money when I was about 18, 19 to take my family on their very first vacation to the Grand Canyon, and it was there for the first time that I couldn't stop thinking about why don't we have access to nature like this in our own communities? Why do I have to travel so far to see the animals, see the beauty, and how can I bring all of this feeling of flowers, nature, and beauty back home? My name is Miranda, and this led me to create Mini Nature Reserve. Mini Nature Reserve started off as a small backyard nursery with my brother. It just started off us going to the local warehouses in the industrial area, and we grabbed a bunch of pallets that would have been otherwise thrown away. And this has grown into a movement of over 700 people. We have planted over 2,500 plants, and that number is slowly increasing every year. And we have put on over 50 workshops with the community. Our mission is to restore nature and urban environments through these landscape projects that engage, educate, and empower the local community. And we are proud to call ourselves Gen Z led. We have done all of this through guerrilla gardening, community workshops that tie together all of our programs, and more. Mini Nature Reserve is a completely community-run organization. Desde semilla hasta planta, as we like to say. We are more than just planting plants. We are about sparking connections where neighbors can meet and youth lead and communities bloom. We believe that nature is a human right and that everybody should have the opportunity to live in a sustainable city and have access to the nature and the plants that they deserve. We've done this through our community nursery volunteer hours, where people are welcome to join at any hour of the day to propagate the plants. And we like to make it a really fun community event where we invite cultural foods like pan dulce. We also do our mini nature reserves, which is part of our guerrilla gardening program, where we go around into the city of Oxnard and into surrounding areas of Chumash land, where we find empty parkways like this one here, and we plant native plants. And then we like to go back to these mini nature reserves to make sure that they are taken care of and that we are using them in a sustainable way. So that includes tending to them and also maintenance, where we get the chance to harvest edible parts of the plant and use them in our upcoming workshops, like our Indigenous cooking classes that we host with the Chumash Bear Circle. We believe in celebrating our community's diverse cultures, especially our Latino heritage. Being the 5th largest population of Latinos in the United States, it's super important that we involve our cultural heritage and language. And we also believe in uplifting the voices of Indigenous Chumash leaders. We want to bring back nature to where we are. So we don't have to travel 1 hour, 2 hours to go to it. We can have it just right in our own backyards. So why do we do what we do? Mini Nature Reserve has been my love letter to Oxnard and to communities like mine. As you can see, what once was an empty parkway has now turned into a beautiful plot of native plants. So it's really amazing to see how resilient these plants are and how they don't need permission to grow. And I really think that shows that we also don't need permission to grow. We have mini nature reserve installations, which are guerrilla gardening events, our Bunny Plantas, where we host a native plant propagation workshop where we show people how to plant their own native plants in their own backyard with little to no up cost. And we also like to host special community events throughout the year. This is from our holiday wreath making event, and everything you see on the table is 100% native plants collected from local watersheds. Our volunteer hours at our community nursery are open practically 24/7. Our cooking classes are led by Indigenous Chumash women who teach us how to go to the native gardens that we plant and harvest and eat from them. But we also do this to get the community to know that they are an integral part of this transformation. We truly believe that it is a team effort and that we need to work together to bring back what we deserve into our own cities. And we are the change. And we need your help in order to do this. You can participate in a number of ways by planting the plants or helping us sort through the seeds. We also would love if you would sign up for our newsletter or recurring volunteer hours at a community nursery. Or if you're out and about in the Saticoy Plain, nominate a spot if you find an empty parkway or an abandoned lot that needs some love. Thank you.
Thank you, Miranda. Before we move into more pitches, I'm honored to introduce someone who plays a pivotal role behind the scenes in bringing this fellowship to life. Please welcome Dora Egan, Development Manager here at Watson Institute, to share a few words about our incredible partnership with BMO.
Thank you, Cynthia, and hi, everyone. I have the great privilege and honor of extending our team and the Fellows' utmost gratitude to our partners at BMO for their generous support and investment in this fellowship over the past 2 years. Today's event marks the culmination of the second consecutive year of the BMO Fellowship, a highly selective entrepreneurship training program supporting community leaders who are building environmental sustainability-focused ventures to address their community's most pressing challenges. The BMO Fellowship reflects BMO's unwavering commitment to its purpose, to boldly grow the good in business and in life. Through this partnership, we've had the opportunity to scale the BMO Fellowship this year across even more of BMO's priority markets, reaching environmental sustainability-focused entrepreneurs and communities in Arizona, California, Colorado, New Mexico, Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. And just as powerful as this breadth of impact has been the engagement we've seen, we want to give a huge shout out to the many BMO team members who have helped bring the BMO Fellowship to life and offered their time, talent, and expertise to support the BMO Fellows and alumni. Especially the Zero Barriers to Business team, the Climate Institute team, the Communications team, and the Community Giving team, and so many others across the bank. Your mentorship, partnership, and leadership have deeply shaped the journey of the BMO Fellows and helped expand what's possible in their journeys. Thank you, BMO, for being such incredible partners. It's an honor to do this work alongside each of you, and we look forward to all that's to come.
Thank you, Dora, and thank you again to BMO for your unwavering commitment to impact-driven leadership and community transformation. I'm excited to now highlight a special part of the BMO Fellowship, Base Camps. Hosting a Venture Center event called a Base Camp is a powerful catalyst for community impact and business growth. They create a vibrant ecosystem where ideas can thrive, local challenges can be addressed with sustainable solutions, and scalable ventures can gain the momentum needed to expand their reach and deepen their impact. To tell you more, I'd like to welcome my wonderful colleague, Mary Campbell, our Senior Basecamp Programs Manager.
Thank you, Cynthia. My name is Mary Campbell, and I'm the Senior Programs Manager at Watson Institute. As part of the BMO Fellowship, each of these incredible fellows is required to host an impact event during their 16-week journey. It's a wonderful but ambitious task, especially considering that many of the fellows are working full-time jobs, raising families, and building their ventures all at once. These fellows truly represent the future of sustainable entrepreneurship, each bringing unique solutions to pressing issues across the U.S. through their venture work and through the events that they're hosting throughout the course of this fellowship. These events are what we at Watson Institute call a base camp. They are defined as powerful 1 to 3 day events that showcase the fellows' work to their community. They're designed to provide hands-on learning experiences that equip entrepreneurs and their community leaders with the tools they need to build their own impactful ventures. While each event looks a little different, they all are curating a space for authentic connection, meaningful conversations, and forward momentum, helping bring big ideas to life in these tangible ways. Despite the challenges, our fellows approach event planning with incredible tenacity. For them, this isn't just a program requirement, it's a chance to make a real impact on their communities. And today, I'm excited to highlight just how transformative these fellow-led base camps have been, not only for the communities they serve, but for the fellows themselves. So with robust training, curated resources, generous support from the partners from Bank of Montreal, they have successfully held or in the process of holding over 13 unique base camps across the U.S. On average, these fellows are dedicating over 50 hours of outside of their regular session time to plan, host, and develop these events. And at Watson Institute, we are deeply proud of their efforts. We're seeing the ripple effects of these base camps grow stronger every day, changing lives continually, one event at a time. One fellow, Ashley Donaldson, hosted her base camp in San Diego, California in May of this year, in which she stated, "The Impact Beyond Business is an immersive event designed to inspire, educate, and empower. It brings together the thought leaders, change makers, and innovators of our community to explore the intersections of sustainability, entrepreneurship, and community-driven impact." So, to all of the BMO Fellows, thank you. Thank you for trusting us to walk alongside you on this journey. Thank you for the long hours that you spent planning, developing, pivoting, all throughout the process. And most of all, thank you for trusting the process. Your dedication to creating meaningful base camps is what has made these events memorable, impactful, and truly special for the people that you are serving. We're proud of you, and we can't wait to see what's next. Back to you, Cynthia.
Thank you, Mary. At this time, we're going to take a quick 5-minute intermission. Feel free to get up, stretch, grab a snack or some water, and take a moment to reflect on the incredible work we've heard so far. When we return, I'll pass the mic back to Evie, who will guide us through our final 2 sets of powerful pitches.
Welcome back, everyone. And thank you, Cynthia, for guiding us through a powerful segment on youth-led climate action, along with meaningful insights into our partnership with BMO and the impact of fellow-led base camps. Now, we turn our attention to a theme that sits at the intersection of mindful living and environmental stewardship: conscious consumption and accessible wellness. In this next set of pitches, you'll hear from 3 remarkable BMO Fellows who are reshaping what wellness looks like, making it more sustainable, more inclusive, and community-rooted. To kick us off, please welcome Ashley Donaldson, founder of More Life Liquid. More Life Liquid is a wellness brand that offers cold-pressed, non-alcoholic beverages. They use 100% biodegradable packaging, have composted over 800 pounds of pulp through partnerships with 2 local farms, and directed 33% of sales to BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, and people of color partners. Please welcome Ashley.
More Life started as a whisper that I almost ignored. I was that girl waking up from another blackout night, friends frustrated, body barely hanging on, and me convincing myself that I was living my best life. The truth? Alcohol was numbing depression, anxiety, and I didn't know how to face it. And the more I drank, the stronger it became. Toxic engagements and just being in survival mode. My body fought back with a skin condition that made me stop and pay attention. When I look back, I have to ask myself, was it really personal choice? Or was it the influence of the environment? San Diego is flooded with over 600 liquor stores, and most of them are concentrated in neighborhoods where people like me live. Map it out, it's undeniable. Red dots equal liquor stores, and they dominate our blocks. But travel north toward wealthier, less diverse areas, and the red dots vanish. Where are the green spaces? Where are the spaces that nourish and not numb? Sustainability isn't just about environment. It's about equity, access, and options. So I stood at a crossroads. I began studying holistic healing, and for the first time, I understood that the depression, the skin issues, the emotional chaos, it was all connected to my environment. I chose differently. Juicing, fasting, a return to my roots. And as I healed, doors began to open, the weight, physical and emotional, lifted, and that whisper, it became my full-blown affirmation. More life. So here's the thing. There's only about 150 juice bars across San Diego. Less than 5 are Black-owned, and they're concentrated in wealthier, less diverse communities. It's not about banning alcohol. It's about offering sustainable choices, about making health just as accessible as harm. My name is Ashley Donaldson, and this is why I founded More Life Liquid. More than a juice brand, a movement that presses pause on generational harm. More Life Liquid was built on the belief that wellness should heal both people and the planet. From our glass bottles, composting our produce, and sourced ingredients that are local and seasonal when possible, sustainability is at the heart of our healing model. As a B Corp certified company, we are committed to uplifting our environment and our community. Partnerships with BIPOC farmers, economic empowerment opportunities, educational pop-ups, circular systems, and low-waste packaging are how we do this. This isn't a dream that we're just starting either. We've been moving. We've partnered with local gyms and churches, launched inside of brick and mortar, and then pivoted to a manufacturing company to weather the challenges of C-19. Then relaunching with a redefined business model and greater impact in 2023. For us, sustainability is culture. It's a legacy. It's saying our communities deserve access to wellness that's not just trendy, but responsible, rooted in values that care for the future. We're seeking $1.5 million to build the first More Life Liquid headquarters, a sustainable manufacturing, retail, and wellness space designed to serve our community and honor the planet. This investment will allow us to have a sustainable production facility, build a solar-powered manufacturing kitchen with an on-site composting system, sober social and wellness events, expansion into underserved communities, enabling distribution to cafes, retailers, and wellness hubs in communities most impacted by chronic illness and limited health access, as well as circular systems and supply chain sustainability. Our ask isn't only about expansion, it's about innovation. We want to build a production model rooted in sustainability, showing that wellness for people and the earth can start in our communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. Next, please welcome Cesar Chacon, founder of Spartan Fit. Cesar launched Spartan Fit to fill a critical gap in the wellness market: clean, effective, and sustainable nutrition supplements. Spartan Fit's mission is to help individuals achieve optimal health through ethically sourced and responsibly packaged products, and is supported by a growing team of passionate wellness advocates. Cesar, you have the floor.
Introducing Spartan Fit Nutrition, a holistic approach to combating the common issues of fatigue and low energy. Our mission is to empower individuals to regain their energy and vitality to successfully reach their fitness goals. However, Spartan Fit Nutrition isn't just about performance, it's about purpose. We're building a brand that supports both the body and the planet. Feeling overwhelmed by life's pressures, I struggled with a demanding job, pursuing a doctorate, and family obligations. Getting a workout in felt impossible. Hi, my name is Cesar Chacon, and I am the founder of Spartan Fit Nutrition. A turning point came after I realized I needed to restore my energy and regain control, leading me to create Spartan Fit Nutrition, and it transformed my life. This moment sparked a vision of better health and also made me realize the importance of building a company that supports people and the planet. Modern life can be incredibly demanding, which often results in minimal time for self care. Low energy and low motivation can hinder the ability to uphold a fitness routine. Ineffective supplements that claim to enhance energy yet have undesirable side effects, leaving users feeling worse. Beyond false promises, supplement brands pump out products with excessive plastic, unsustainable sourcing, and zero accountability for their impact on the environment. There had to be a better way. Fortunately, we came up with a solution. Our formulations are clean and effective. We offer sugar-free, low glycemic supplements designed for sustained energy. Our slow-release formulas provide a steady energy for tackling daily challenges and achieving fitness goals. We source ingredients responsibly and are working on biodegradable solutions to reduce our environmental impact. Our ingredients help provide energy to get up and move, build muscle, and boost motivation. That is where the Leonidas blend was born. Our secret weapon is a truly unique pre workout formula that delivers a surge of energy to improve your mood and fuel your journey towards optimal health. With just one scoop, you'll gain energy all day without the crash, empowering you to get the most out of your workouts and meet your goals. The Leonidas blend represents not just energy, but a mindful approach to wellness. Our products are designed to empower individuals to achieve their optimal health and wellness, restoring energy, focus, and vitality. But that's not enough. We foster a culture of healthy living to not only smash your fitness goals, but also have the energy for your life's mission. We empower everyday warriors to live healthier lives while protecting the earth they train on. That means reducing plastic use and sourcing responsibly. We believe that our health shouldn't come at the expense of the planet's. Our success has come through grit and dedication. While bootstrapping, we were able to demonstrate a year-over-year growth of 55%. We're poised to continue to grow exponentially with our partnerships and continue sales. And as we grow, we're committed to making sustainability a key part of that growth, partnering with suppliers who share our values. We are currently evaluating how to increase sustainability across all product lines from sourcing to distribution as we scale. What have we done so far? We've developed a comprehensive solution to the problem of fatigue and lack of energy. We focused on clean, sustainable, and ethically sourced ingredients. We've improved the personal well-being and contributed to the greater good of the community. We've partnered with local suppliers to reduce our carbon footprint, and we're mapping a plan for a carbon neutral delivery options. We seek mentors, advisors, and capital to help scale our business responsibly. I created Smart Fit Nutrition to fuel humans with a purpose. But purpose doesn't stop at performance. It extends to how we treat our bodies, our communities, and our planet. That's why we're building this business with sustainability at its core. If you're interested in our mission, we seek mentors to help us source eco-friendly packaging and strengthen our sustainability supply chain. Together, we'll build a more sustainable future, one product and refill at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, Caesar. And finally, we'll hear from Charlotte Young Bowens, founder of Conscious Gear. Charlotte is reimagining outdoor gear to be more inclusive and sustainable. Conscious Gear's signature product, the Vestapack, a plus-sized hydration vest made from 65% recycled materials, is now sold at REI and was named a top 10 outdoor product by USA Today. Conscious Gear recently received a $10,000 Positive Planet grant from Verizon. Charlotte, take it away.
In 2014, I faced a health scare, and at the same time, the doctor told me I was severely depressed. Now, that moment, it really shook me, and I knew something had to change. And instead of giving in, I went to my closet and I dug out an old pair of kicks. You know, the ones that I bought on the sales rack from the Payless shoe store back in 1999? Those shoes. But I did the unthinkable. I put one foot in front of the other. And would you believe, a year and a half later, I was crossing the finish line of my first 50-mile, yeah, I said it, 50-mile ultramarathon. And that journey, well, it taught me three powerful lessons. Number one is that our bodies, they are capable of extraordinary things. And that also nature, it has the power to heal not only our bodies, but our minds. And finally, innovation, well, often it emerges from these unexpected struggles. As I continued my trail running journey, I discovered a painful truth. The outdoor industry wasn't inclusive to people like me with bigger bodies. I mean, I had to wear the hydration vest. It was required and essential gear for my races, but it left me with some painful and bloody rug burns. And one day I looked around and I saw that, well, I'm not the only one, that there are millions of Americans with larger body types facing the same exclusion every single day. But they're silently accepting that, well, maybe outdoor adventures aren't meant for them. I took it upon myself to find out about the outdoor industry. And here's the reality. 68% of US adults have bigger bodies, yet less than 20% of the outdoor gear even caters to our bodies. This is a $2 billion opportunity in one of the fastest growing verticals in outdoor apparel and gear. And I'll be honest with you, this blatant disconnect, well, it didn't sit right with me. And so I took matters into my own hands. Hi, I'm Charlotte Young Bowens, founder of Conscious Gear and creator of Vestapack, the world's first hydration vest designed by and for us taller, curvier, more muscular, and bigger-bodied outdoor enthusiasts and endurance athletes. Let me be clear. We're not just about filling a gap. We're redefining outdoor gear to be equitable, inclusive, and sustainable. Now, what began in my garage with a sewing machine that I had checked out from the public library back in 2021 has grown into a global brand. We have customers wearing Vestapack all over the world. From day one, environmental sustainability has always been at the core of our mission. Our vests are made with 65% recycled materials because we believe that the future of outdoor gear must support both people and the planet. And we deeply value our partnership with REI, proving that inclusive innovation and environmental sustainability can, well, go hand in hand. Nearly every customer writes me a personal note of thanks, and I am so humbled and honored to do this work. Sandra from Pennsylvania wrote, I love the way Vestapack hugs the girls. She means her breast. It's so comforting. I'm barely remember I have it on. Thank you. I need to say these notes remind me that Vestapack isn't just gear. It's helping people build long-term relationships with nature by making them feel welcomed, making them feel comfortable and confident when they're in the outdoors. Now, I've gotten conscious gear this far, but due to the unexpected international growth, we desperately need mentorship. And then the financial support will go towards three things. First of which is to finally pay me as a founder a little small salary, as well as hire some other staff. We'll also do more paid digital marketing. And then those funds will be used to pay for upfront costs associated with our international distribution channels. What I love most about Vestapack is its versatility. Look, you don't need to run an ultra marathon like me to appreciate it. Whether you're just walking or hiking or even out gardening, Vestapack makes hydration effortless. Our vision, well, isn't just about hydration. It's about healing our bodies, healing our relationships with the outdoors, and reminding people that they too can do their part to take care of this planet. And in the end, I discovered this, y'all. Hydration is my love language. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte. To close out today's pitches, I'm excited to introduce our final theme, green infrastructure and development, highlighting BMO Fellows building solutions at the intersection of sustainability, construction, and community resilience. First up, let's turn our attention to Karina Pano Mendoza, founder of Panos Concrete. Karina launched Panos Concrete to prioritize mental health and environmental responsibility in construction. She has trained her team on sustainable construction practices, including water recycling and waste management, promoting a culture of environmental responsibility. Karina, you have the mic.
Hi everyone, my name is Karina Pano. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Panos Concrete. At Panos Concrete, we believe that people, the environment, and construction are all deeply connected. I was raised in the trades. My father worked in concrete for decades, and I grew up watching him and my uncles come home tired, sunburned, and sometimes injured from long days on Central Valley jobs. And while there was pride in the work, there were also limits, especially for workers who didn't speak English or have legal protections. Professionally, I've spent the last decade in project management and community organizing, leading initiatives in child welfare, workforce development, and social equity. I also earned a Master of Social Work and a Construction Management certificate from UC Berkeley. Panos Concrete brings together all those experiences. Field-tested knowledge, care for people, and a belief that construction can be a path to opportunity, health, and environmental leadership. We serve industrial, commercial, and residential clients, pouring everything from slabs and foundations to patios and structural flat work. But what makes us different is how we work. We focus on clear communication, pride in our craft, and creating a job site culture that values check-ins, collaboration, and well-being. We're not just showing up to complete a scope of work. We're showing up to build something meaningful as a crew. We know the concrete industry is a major contributor to global CO2 emissions, nearly 8% worldwide. We also see firsthand how rising heat, poor air quality, and injury risks affect workers daily. And beyond the environmental side, there's a human cost. Incredible tradespeople being passed up for promotion because of language barriers, mental health and substance use issues that get ignored, and a system that often rewards speed over safety. At Panos, we believe every project has ripple effects on people, on land, and what kind of future we're creating. We're still learning, we're still growing, but we're clear on this. We prioritize the well being of our crew, we choose materials and methods with intention, and we're building a workplace that creates space for growth, dignity, and possibility. As we grow, we're exploring low carbon concrete, recycled materials, and better water management practices, like our current training in conserving water in concrete. We're building partnerships with mental health professionals, universities, and workforce programs to design what we call a wellness-centered job site. And we dream of a future with larger operations from a green tech-equipped warehouse and where young people from the Central Valley and Latin America can learn, build, and lead the next chapter of this industry. Every job we take on helps us reinvest in our people and our mission. We've launched a recycling program, donating leftover concrete and leftover material to local sustainability organizations. We're listening to our team, doing post-job reflections, and trying to stay grounded in why we do this. Because tradespeople deserve more than a paycheck. They deserve respect, voice, and opportunity. We're active in conversations around climate equity. We're also listeners. We learn from other builders, other organizers, and from the wisdom of the people we work alongside. Our perspective is trades rooted and community driven, and we're proud to bring this to this space. We're looking to work with general contractors and other contractors and architects who care about how projects impact both people and the planet, engineers innovating in low carbon systems, wellness professionals, educators, and trade schools, and workforce leaders ready to transform the construction industry from the inside out. At Panos, we're building more than structures. We're building a company that reflects care, integrity, and innovation. We're integrating cleaner materials, growing a team that's resilient and valued, and contributing to a construction culture where safety, family, and sustainability aren't add-ons, they're foundational. Thank you for your time and for the work you do. I'd love to connect and explore how we can build. My name is Karina Pano, co-founder of Panos Concrete, and I'm here today not just representing a business, but a vision for a better future in construction.
Thank you, Karina. I'd now like to introduce you to Mel Wyatt, founder of MW Enterprises, LLC. MW Enterprises, LLC is a B Corp certified real estate firm focused on transforming underrepresented communities through sustainable development. Mel is based in California, where she's actively driving impact, and she's also making a difference in Arkansas. The project she will present today is a 100% walkable, community-centered retail hub located in Little Rock, expected to serve over 1,000 residents. Please welcome Mel.
Hello, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Mel, and I'm thrilled to present our transformational vision for 18th Street, an entire walkable mixed-use community in Little Rock, Arkansas. At MW Enterprises, LLC, we believe walkability isn't just about mobility, it's about building connections, supporting local businesses, and fostering long-term community value. Our site, located in Central High District, just 1.5 miles from downtown Little Rock, an area rich in history, culture, and potential. This development combines a retail village, creative space, and community-driven services, all designed to create a car-free destination with long-lasting social and economic impact. Why walkability matters. Walkable neighborhoods are in high demand. In fact, 74% of millennials and over 85% of Gen Z say they prefer living in walkable communities. The benefits are clear: higher property values, improved public health, reduced traffic congestion, and strong sense and pride. In a world dominated by cars and noise, we're building something different. A sanctuary of simplicity where neighbors connect, local shops thrive, and ideas flow freely in public spaces. And you ask, what makes us different? We're purpose-driven. We have integrated live, work, play environment, and we have sustainable community-focused development. This isn't just a great idea. It's in the right place. Our project benefits from proximity to schools, hospitals, and Central High School National Historic Site, access to federal opportunity zone incentives and small business grants, public transportation, bike lanes, and walkable infrastructure. We're not just building for profit, we're building with purpose. This development is designed to revitalize without displacing, and here's how. We have local hiring during construction and operation, affordable rents for first-time entrepreneurs, free co-working access for early-stage startups, and business workshops, mentorship, and community networking. Plus, our free design promotes safety, reduces pollution, and invites public life back into the streets. Let's look at the community we're serving. There's nearly 9,000 residents. The median household income is $30,000. 70% renter-occupied housing. It's 72% Black and 9.1% unemployment rate. This development is tailored to uplift and partner with people that's already here. We acknowledge the challenges of revitalization and we're meeting them head on. And you'll ask how. We're reusing vacant lots. We're not removing homes. We're building profit-sharing models and community-led programming. We're amplifying culture through murals, events, music, and storytelling. And we're locking in below-market rents to support underserved founders. Our goal is inclusion, prosperity, not gentrification. We'll develop this project in 3 strategic phases. The first phase is pre-development and site prep zoning, community engagement, utility connections, and lane walkable infrastructure. Phase 2 is vertical construction. Phase 3 is launch and stabilization. This is more than real estate, it's legacy building, and we invite you to join us as a partner, an investor, or a champion of community first development. Let's create something amazing together.
Thank you, Mel. Next up, please welcome Brittany Salas, founder of NICS-C. NICS-C connects financial institutions with verified carbon removal providers through a real-time tracking platform. With over 1,000 companies in its pipeline, NICS-C is piloting with a community development finance institution to unlock $40 million in climate finance. Brittany, you have the floor.
Years ago, I remember talking to my uncle. It was about Animal Planet, and I was a kid to him, so the show was something that we had in common. At the end of the conversation, my uncle pauses and says, "It's just so sad. All the animals are dying." And this statement, coming from someone who had never thought much about being an environmentalist, stuck with me. I think about that call often, and it reminds me of the peace, the connection, and the sense of never-ending curiosity that I experience when I pause to notice my environment. For years, I've been asking myself why humans are so bad at noticing just how much valuable information is contained in nature, and why we seem to forget how deeply interconnected we are to this inconceivably complex ecosystem. My name is Brittany, and I am the founder of NICS-C. As a student of economics and policy who decided to solve problems by building software, I approach life from a global context with the mentality of a hacker. Persistent, creative, gritty, resourceful, and an obsession for identifying systemic weakness. From this perspective, it just didn't make any sense that nature could be destroyed to achieve more efficiency and productivity. I continuously questioned how nature's value is overlooked. It's this question that drove me to build, fail, and build again, with the goal of making a financial mechanism for nature conservation exponentially profitable. Coincidentally, as I was working on this, my mom, who now owns our family farm in Oklahoma, was handed a contract by a large solar developer who wanted to build on the property. The contract itself had no option for renegotiation, a flat payment of $1,000 for 70 years, and the risk of losing our land through a tax loophole. This experience backed up my market research. Turns out the smallholder farmers and family-owned businesses that clean up pollution and restore natural land are often presented with contracts like this when they want to work in environmental markets. Despite the increasing need for solutions that help communities adapt to extreme weather, such as climate-smart agriculture and forestry biomass utilization, the family-owned businesses that want to participate in these markets are overlooked by big banks. So then, what are the options for small businesses that want to expand into environmental markets and help their communities adapt to extreme weather? That's why I built NICSI. NICSI is a nonprofit community loan fund designed for small businesses that are underserved by big banks. The fund streamlines lending by automating underwriting and loan servicing so that companies have access to loans of any size. NICSI is incorporated as a California nonprofit with a sustainable business model, charging interest to borrowers and offering flexible financing that is tailored to environmental markets. I built NICSI after launching multiple software products and helping energy suppliers invest in technology that reduce their environmental impact. NICSI's engineer comes from a background in finance and computer science and is currently leading data engineering for an AI company. NICSI's MVP is in use by potential borrowers. We're raising a microfund of $25,000 to help borrowers build credit. And we want to meet with foundations that value environmental conservation and the exponential growth of their financial contributions. Extreme weather calls for solutions that help mitigate the impact of a changing climate on local communities. It's small businesses that play a key role in the implementation of these solutions, making them leaders in climate adaptation. The complete failure of the federal government to support these efforts makes now the most critical time to support an underserved market. Thank you, and I look forward to connecting.
Thank you, Brittany. To close out our presentations today, I'm excited to introduce you to Julie Iconello, founder of WaveWise Technologies. WaveWise Technologies is developing a dual-purpose wave energy converter that provides coastal protection while generating clean energy for disaster relief and grid support. By integrating nature-inspired designs that mimic reefs and mangroves, the company aims to create a cost-effective, sustainable alternative to traditional seawalls, reducing storm surge damage while enhancing biodiversity. Julie, take it away.
Hi, my name is Julie Iconello, and I'm the CEO and co-founder at WaveWise Technologies, where we are turning wave energy into coastal resilience. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, within the redwoods of Northern California, off-grid, no TV, no phones, where nature was my teacher. Instead of video games or TV, we were sent outside to climb trees and create with our imagination. Nature taught me curiosity. My superpower is curiosity and making unexpected connections. I love to learn from anything and anyone, and this interest to constantly explore new ideas means that I can bring connections from seemingly unrelated areas to solve problems with innovative ideas. Nature is the ultimate innovator, where everything is interconnected. Nothing goes to waste, and species and ecosystems have adapted over millions of years to create a balance between different organisms. Today, we need that balance more than ever. Our impact on the world has high costs, and we're seeing the effects of climate change through more frequent, more intense storms, fires, and droughts. Coastal communities face risks of flooding and erosion that are already happening today and only getting worse. $1.4 trillion of assets are at risk in the United States. 50 million homes are at risk. Lives, livelihoods, industries, infrastructure, they're all facing hurricanes, erosion, storm surge, and sea level rise. It's happening today, and communities are struggling to adapt to this new reality. This is a picture of St. Augustine, Florida, where they are facing a situation similar to many other coastal cities. Flooding is a regular occurrence which threatens tourism, homes, and businesses. In many communities like this, the only solution is to build a seawall, a very expensive, carbon-intensive concrete wall. It is like we're fighting against nature. So we believe there is a better way, a way that takes inspiration from nature, drawing upon the millions of years that nature has adapted to teach us how we can adapt as well. Drawing upon inspiration from the way mangroves and artificial reefs protect coastlines from the power and intensity of the ocean. Drawing upon the way sea palms and seaweed flex and move with the ocean rather than fighting it. Creating a place for life to flourish. So we are creating a flexible artificial reef that generates electricity while protecting coastlines and creating a space for sea life to flourish. It's based on research and intellectual property from one of our national labs and uses a flexing motion of the structure itself to power thousands of embedded generators. This generated electricity could be used as emergency power if a hurricane or other storm takes out critical infrastructure, powering pump stations, traffic lights, saving lives, and helping to speed up recovery from disasters. We see dozens of additional applications for our core technology. Our core wave energy conversion technology takes a fundamentally different approach than traditional devices. Rather than using large, rigid mechanical devices, we're creating a material that embeds thousands of small generators within it. This means we're able to generate energy from the movement of virtually anything. Imagine a self-powered boat whose very structure is made of these embedded generators, or a tether line that can power the buoy above it, deepening our knowledge about the conditions of our oceans. We are limited only by our imagination. And our team has not only imagination, but the ability to build and grow this from idea to product. My experience ranges from startups to multinationals, leading strategy, growth, and marketing. And my co-founder, Jamila, has boots on the ground experience with FEMA, helping communities recover from these disasters. The next stage in our growth is to focus on building a prototype based on real customer feedback. We've already talked to 40 potential partners and customers, and we'll continue this relentless focus on customer discovery to make sure we're building something that the market truly needs and that we can commercialize. We're also working closely with the National Lab to secure the IP and continue R&D for our specific use case. And we're actively applying for grants that will help us fund product development. So in nature, imagination is not a barrier. And at WaveWise Technologies, we are imagining a world where clean energy can be created by the flexing motion of virtually any material, where we can protect lives, houses, and coastal cities by working with nature rather than against it, where we see nature as a guide and a teacher. I invite you to join us.
Thank you, Julie. Before we wrap up today's summit, I am honored to welcome someone who has been a steady champion of the BMO Fellowship and the brilliant minds behind it. Our Vice President of Programs at Watson Institute, Dwayne Griffith. Dwayne, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Evie. And what powerful presentations we've just heard from the BMO Fellows. Today marks not an ending, but a powerful beginning for our BMO Fellowship cohort. Throughout this program, you've embodied the truth that environmental solutions must be community-led to be truly sustainable. Your lived experiences have become your greatest assets, transforming personal challenges into innovative ventures that serve both people and planet. What strikes me most is how you've defined environmental entrepreneurship. You've shown us that sustainability isn't just about green technology. It's about environmental justice, community resilience, and creating economic opportunities where they're needed most. You've learned to weave together environmental science, business strategy, and social impact in ways that honor your community's wisdom while driving measurable change. Your journey from here is one of infinite possibilities. As a lifelong BMO Fellow, you carried with you not just the skills and networks, but a responsibility to continue uplifting others who share your background and vision. Our alumni network stands ready to support you, connect you, and amplify your impact as you scale your ventures. Wangari Maathai reminded us that, and I quote, "the little grassroots people can change the world." Out quote. You are living proof of this truth, rooted in your communities, growing solutions from the ground up, and creating forests of change where others only saw barren ground. To everyone who attended these remarkable presentations, you've seen firsthand how environmental challenges become opportunities for community-led innovation. Here at Watson Institute, we invite you to join our mission. Apply to upcoming programs, volunteer as mentors, and follow our impact through our social media. Now, let's activate our collective power in the chat by each sharing one thing we can give to the community and one thing we need from the community. Remember, environmental justice requires us all working together. Thank you.
Thank you, Dwayne. As we come to the close of the 2024-2025 BMO Fellowship Summit, I want to thank each of you, our partners, supporters, and changemakers, for showing up with a shared commitment to growing the good in business and life. To the 2024-2025 BMO Fellows, your environmental sustainability ventures are more than businesses. They are blueprints for a sustainable future. Your work is bold, your impact is real, and your voices are lighting the way toward a more sustainable, equitable world. As you return to your communities, know that the BMO Fellowship Network is behind you, cheering you on and believing deeply in what you're building. Let today be a reminder. Sustainability starts with leaders like you, and together we can create lasting change. On behalf of all of us at Watson Institute and our partners at BMO, thank you for being part of this movement. We'll see you soon.